Okay, reviewing a real poster car is a huge deal, so I'm a little bit hyped, but that's a good thing, I guess. Behind me is a 2023 Porsche 911 Turbo. I'm gonna take you on a tour around the car, show you all the details, show you the interior, and then go for a ride and provide an improvised review. So enjoy. As you probably know, the 911s of the past had this innocent, chubby appearance. They were nowhere near as intimidating as their mid-engine rivals. Obviously, performance-wise, they got the business done, but they didn't look at it as intimidating. This thing, however, has grown in size, in width. It's sleek, low, wide, and to be honest, it looks a little bit menacing. Well, to put things in perspective, in 996 terms, it looks like the GT1 race car. This being the Turbo, the Big Daddy, comes with most of the extras, like the PDLS, Porsche Dynamic Lighting System. Well, there's gonna be lots of acronyms starting with P in this review, because Porsche loves this stuff. It isn't, however, packed with all the extras. This being a non-S, just a regular quote-unquote turbo, has regular steel brakes, non-ceramic. It was a deliberate choice of the owner. He didn't want to have ceramics on the car. The brakes are huge, however, and provide lots of braking power, as we're gonna find out later on. Side view mirror caps in body paint color. The controversial handles, side intakes. Well, if there's one major gripe I have about the 911 Turbo in particular, it's the those side intakes. Come on, Porsche, they're a staple design feature on the Turbo. Please make them, I don't know, carbon, maybe wood, maybe chocolate, but not a cheap piece of plastic. It doesn't belong on a 250 grand car. But that's just one gripe I have with this car. Overall, despite the increase of size, the 911 beauty shines through. I guess this is fake. Let me stop. No, it's hollow, so it serves a purpose. I guess it dissipates heat from the engine bay. Quad exhaust tips. Those of you familiar with the options on the 911 know that this is another Porsche acronym, non-PSE exhaust system, so non-Porsche Sports exhaust. Again, it was a deliberate choice. The owner prefers it that way. It's a matter of choice. I would have preferred the oval ones, but to each their own, I guess. The business end, as Nathan Mertz from Porsche Club of America likes to call it. It's really fat with the proud 911 turbo lettering. I left the spoiler extended because to me it kind of complements the 911 silhouette. Okay, braking system, huge discs and calipers, 315 section tires at the rear, 21-inch, and 20s up front. Panoramic sunroof. As I said before, those door handles faced lots of criticism back in 2019 when the car was released, because they're supposed to pop up like this while opening. Let's check the closing sound. Yeah, solid. It sounds quality. Yeah, I guess it's time to hop onto the interior and then go for a ride. What do you think? Oh, I almost forgot. I was gonna show you the engine bay. What a noob I am. You press this or pull this little button here, go to the business end, and there we go. Obviously it's not the way Italians do it. You can hardly see anything in here, just basic maintenance things like coolant and oil, 2 fans on the top, engine oil sticker, engine oil specification sticker. It runs on a very thin OW40 engine oil provided by Mobil 1. And a proud turbo plaque on the top, since most of the 911s of today are turbo. GT3 and GT3 RS aside. This sticker doesn't make too much sense, but marketing wise it makes lots of sense. If you know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you do. Okay, let's close it. The same goes for frunk. You pull this toggle switch, and must say it's where the 911 shines as an all-rounder, because it's a reasonable luggage space. I bet I could fit in here. I'm not gonna do it, but I bet I could. Okay, let's close it. So satisfying. So here we are in the interior. Lots of bits to cover here. As I said before, extended leather on the door panels on the dash. Is not extended leather because Porsche is really good at milking their customers, so you can basically get lots of other pieces in leather, like this review mirror, the sun visors, for example, vents as well, the sports chrono clock. It's crazy, it's crazy. Yeah. Here we got the dash with all the warning lights on. Okay, let's start the engine. PCM. I think I must say I really like this layout of the instrument cluster, with the center section, the rev counter being analog, and 2 digital dials on either side. Sadly, on the 992.2, the facelift version, this middle section is also digital, and I can say I'm digging the design of this instrument cluster on the 992.2. The same goes for the engine key. This is what it's supposed to be. Now on the 992.2 they replace it with a tacky plastic looking start stop button. Quite disappointing. The GT steering wheel, let me move back a little bit. Okay, the GT steering wheel, slightly smaller in diameter, with the middle section a little bit smaller as well. The drive mode selector, or Manatino as I like to call it, also looks a little bit tacky, if I'm being honest. Italians do it better on Ferraris, I must say, so Porsche, try better. With the sports response button in the middle, what it does we're gonna find out later on. Sports chrono, PCM, gear shifter, sports seats, 18 ways, so the optional ones with seat memory, and turbo lettering on the headrest, Sportex headliner, sunroof. I might try to get on the rear seat to see if it really is even remotely functional. Okay, let's try that. Now I'm gonna try to hop on the rear seat. You pull this. Let's move the seat a little back a bit to the front. Certainly my ears don't fit in the interior, but even without the without the ears, it's nowhere near comfortable in here. I'm 5'7". I was hoping I could sit somewhere comfortably in here, but no, it's not drivable. Maybe like this, lean to the side, maybe it would do for a couple kilometers, but that's it. Okay, I've done it. So I don't recommend this. Now let's see the front splitter extent. Cool. It also says 911 turbo. Oh, what a surprise. Okay. And also in this fully extended position, the rear spoiler, because they work in conjunction, the front splitter and the rear spoiler. This is what it looks like. The way I like it. As I said before, it complements the 911 silhouette. Those sleek, curvy lines are finished with this kind of aggressive rear spoiler. Beautiful. Okay, I guess I've covered most of the things that came to my mind. Bear in mind it was improvised, so now let's go for a ride. Yeah. Okay, like Duke Nukem would say it, much better. Release the handbrake, the brown shaver to drive, and off we go. Okay, you got front axle lift. You press this jet fighter toggle switch, get a message on the right dial that the front is lifted, and off you go. And front lift we need here, trust me. We're at the lakeside. Nice site for shooting a video like this one. Now we're gonna go for a ride. Now we're driving in the normal mode, which is like the comfort mode in most cars. Luckily you don't get a eco mode on this car, so the normal mode is like the default. We're gonna test the delta between the individual modes, so between the normal mode, the sport mode, and the sport plus. Okay, let's get some heat on the engine and the tires, and then we're gonna switch between the modes. We got the Manatino here. Okay, camera guy, show us the Manatino. We're in normal. Okay, I've switched to sport, and it's already downshifted. And you get much more pronounced exhaust system, exhaust sound. So I guess there are some flaps that open when you toggle to the sport mode. some noise while downshifting. When you're braking, the transmission downshifts and you get this throaty downshift sound from the exhaust system. So already I can tell you that the difference between the normal mode and the sport mode is really pronounced. Otherwise it wouldn't make much sense to have drive modes. But I guess it's a beautiful of today's cars. They have this kind of split personality. Through the active exhaust systems, different engine tuning between the modes, different suspension tuning, you basically get two different cars in one. Sitting position typically for the 911 is spot on. Distance between the steering wheel, the pedals, the seat position, everything is spot on. I got plenty of headroom even with my years. Even though this is a panoramic sunroof car, you get plenty of headroom. It's surprisingly spacious. It's not claustrophobic as you would expect from a sports car. Oh, we got a Camaro in front of us. It drives, it feels like a tank on the inside. Very cramped interior with small windows. Totally not the case with this one. Lots of glass, surprisingly lots of windows, of glass surfaces for a modern car. Great. And those iconic 911 humps on the front hood also help you kind of position the car. Obviously no 911, especially 911 turbo review can do without a launch control section, but I won't be doing this here. I'm gonna post a separate video later on, maybe as a teaser to this video. Launch control system. Whoa. To me, launch control times are a pretty useless metric when it comes to everyday driving, because what matters way more is how the car actually responds to your right foot. When you're in the traffic lights, you'll lift off the brake, press the gas pedal, and how quickly the car actually takes off and accelerates. It matters way more. Oh, the aforementioned Camaro. So like I said, what matters more is how the car actually performs without using the launch control procedure. Because launch control, especially on a dual clutch car, it pre-builds boost pressure and dumps the clutch, but you're not gonna do this on everyday driving in city traffic like a total idiot. You want the car to be responsive, like this. I lifted off the brake, pushed the accelerator, and there was no hesitation whatsoever. Okay, now we're entering the freeway. Okay, I guess we've had a lot of city driving, sitting in traffic. I've shown you how the car behaves in everyday situations, but now let's make it stretch its legs a little bit. We're in 6th gear. I do the kick down. that alone shows the difference between the dual clutch transmission, a good dual clutch, and PDK is one of the best, if not the best, dual clutch transmissions in the business, and a good, even very good torque converter like the DS ZF 8-speed, which gets lots of love in cars like M2s, M3s, M4s, M5s, RS4s, RS6s. That transmission is good, but it doesn't even come close to this one. Okay, we're in 6th gear, the same story. Ja, Wahnsinn, like Germans say it. Pure Wahnsinn. Okay, in 5th gear, in 6th gear. Okay, let's try the Sport Plus mode. It dropped even lower to 5th gear. And I don't know, but I guess it's even louder. I'm not sure about this, but I guess so. And I must say that's the mode I prefer the most. And the Sport Plus mode extends the front splitter and the rear spoiler, like I showed you before. So if you're gonna really sand it, the Sport Plus is the way to go. Throttle response is razor sharp. Since the 997 generation, the 911 Turbo has had VTG, which stands for Variable Turbine Geometry. Steering is also great, not too light, not too heavy. Pretty short direct rack, so you gotta be paying attention. But it's a sports car, so it makes sense. Braking system is also great, as you expect from the huge discs and calipers I showed you. Practically no initial bite, no initial travel. You get bite basically as soon as you touch the brake pedal, but it's very progressive, so you can modulate the braking power and get the bang in your ears. Yeah, fuck yeah. So hear that. I hope my camera is picking this up, because man, does it sound great. But if I'm being picky, they could feel a little bit more expensive, because if I'm not mistaken, there are plastic. I would have preferred metal, long metal pedals, but it's just a minor gripe. But they work like this. Fuck yeah. When you toggle with this swivel wheel, you get trip computer, navigation, night vision, all-wheel drive info with torque display between the axles, the front and the rear axle. Torque distribution between the axles. G-force meter. Okay. You can play with the right dot. get 0.0 G's right now and get a little bit of wheel spin. It was interesting. I was surprised that it's surprisingly lively, the rear axle. Being an all-wheel drive car, I was expecting more of the neutral driving characteristics, but it's very much rear biased. During the launch control system, even on dry surface like today, it's very playful, so be careful. I'm driving. Okay, so we get 0.0 G's and wheel spin. It's cool. Tire pressure, so regular stuff. Like this one. Power use. Modes. Drive modes. And we're back to the drivetrain info, or engine info, should I say. What's the fuel consumption? We're getting 17.3 liters. It's like it equals to mid like 15s mpg, something like this. You do the math. I forgot to switch to mpgs, so you need to calculate this on your own. On the flip side, those of you who are watching me here in Europe, you get it easy. Camera guy, show him this beautiful piece of road.